I'm going to have to get rid of this for sure. No way. No how.
It's so you don't wear it on your watch. So you don't have a watch.
Oh, there'd be no way. It just,
I think I need
I had one and it just buzzed and buzzed and buzzed. And I constantly, it made it worse for me. So I think that's part of trying to figure out balance is how do we just stay present right in the moment where we're with all of the distractions. It's hard, right? But it used to be easier. And I think the busier you get, the more information the more accessible the phone is just constantly inundating us, right?
Oh yeah, cell phones and access to people in the immediate and the expectation of getting an immediate response. I mean, I think of just this week, I had multiple people that called me 3-4 times in a row. So I instinctually drop what I'm doing, thinking it's an emergency.
Yeah.
And then it's, oh, hey, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to leave a voicemail, but I was trying to get a hold of you. Like, okay, but trying to balance that versus that knowing that people are going to get a voicemail or an answering machine.
Right.
And that when you get home or you get back inside, you'll listen to it and call them back at your leisure. That is a gone idea.
Isn't that the saying that the cell phone, I have a cell phone for my convenience, not yours?
Ooh, I never heard that before. I like that.
Yeah. And it gets flipped. And then they have this unrealistic expectation that I have to text her. So, yeah. And, when you're doing a session with someone, you're leading and fully engaged. There's just times in our life, and depending on what you do, like, if I'm on the road driving for the whole day, I'm gladly welcome a call.
For sure.
Somebody will text me and say, hey, I'm driving. Can you just call me? And now with my fancy truck, I can just say, Siri, text this. But if I'm going to be talking to Siri, I may as well talk to the person. It's just better. So I always ask them, hey, are you where you can give me a call? And then, 50 miles go by where I didn't even realize it. So.
Well, and that even brings up two separate points that honestly have been on my mind this week, which is really interesting that we just naturally started talking about this. One of them was, I have a contractor coming to our house, to our barn, to work on something. And he'll always message me and say, when you get a minute, can you call me? And to me, that means, oh no, something's wrong. That's how it triggers in my mind, because I think of, and when you do these big projects, when the contractor has to talk to you about something, you think, oh, it's going to cost you money. There's an issue, something like that. So then I call. He's like, I'm just letting you know that, I think our schedule is going to be pushed out just 2 days. Is it okay? What do I need to problem solve? And in my mind, in the moment, I'm thinking, man, this could have been a text message, or this could have been an email. And I was slightly irritated. But then I sat with it a minute and I was like, I actually really love that he wants to hear the tone and inflection in my voice, have that conversation, be able to resolve it in real time. And I think I'm so accustomed to, is this a text message, an email, or a phone call all the time? That I screen out things that could be great phone calls and opportunities to connect all the time.
So opportunities to connect. It's a powerful thing, right?
Absolutely.
And we're potentially missing them.
Absolutely.
I just, we were talking earlier about some of the things that keep you up at night. And I was looking back through some family pictures. And it wasn't, I still have them. They're on my phone. It's gone. It's like I blinked and it went from these little kids to now they're grown and they're leaving.
Yeah.
And it's still on my phone. I'm like, how did it go so fast? I can just scroll back and there they are. And they're like little tiny, we were roughhousing wrestling on the floor and throwing the ball. And now it's like, I've got to schedule, hey, it's Easter coming up. You guys want to come over?
Yeah.
And opportunities to connect. Mm-hmm. We miss them. And
I do.
And I think that brings some guilt and some shame, I know, into me, just looking at my kids and going, man, why did I need to be so busy for? Right?
Right. Yeah. I think that's something that we all see and probably experience, no matter what our job is or our roles are, that sometimes being busy does not mean it's more satisfying.
Right.
But then on the other hand, having to work long hours, whether it's shifts, we naturally miss things.
Yeah.
And then we do have that guilt about it. And then it is a little bit harder to find that intentional time we can never make up for that time, I don't think, but it's more about being intentional to connect.
Yeah.
Because missing Easter because you worked on shift, or missing that school play or whatever because you couldn't get someone to switch with you, or you were deployed, or whatever that looked like. You can't make up for that. Like, that moment is gone.
Right.
But we can create new memories with intention.
Yeah.
And I think that's a piece that is hard because it takes a little bit more effort.
So it's what you're saying is it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of those opportunities to connect. The ones we've missed. Mm-hmm. Those opportunities are gone. But is there the reality? Can we bring back a closeness that once was there that seems like it's been lost? Will it come back? So I had this idea as I was going through my pictures, and I was going, oh man, I miss so much of that time, and I missed those memories we had. What can I do now? So one of the things that I decided I was going to do is this weekend, we're going to grill out, and I'm bringing up all these old pictures, and we're going to look at them together.
That's great.
And then we're just going to say, do you guys remember this? I got the idea because it just happened organically. We were helping I was over at my parents' house. They're probably feeling the same way that I'm feeling now, right?
Or they have.
But I brought my boys, and we were unloading some heavy things for them. Yeah, they definitely have. Well, we go in, and on the fridge, my mom has got pictures of when I was a kid, all the way up to all of the grandkids. It's like the fridge is the photo album. There's two sides that it's on the end that has pictures all the way, and on the front.
Okay.
And the boys are there. They stood at the fridge and laughed, and I was like, it didn't hit me then, but when I was thinking about it, so that's what gave me the idea is, let's go to the fridge, but not to open it and see what's in it. Let's see what's on it, the memories that are on it. Yeah. So now that's on my phone. So I got to figure out, do I want to print some of these out, or do I just want to, I think what I'll do is just AirPlay it on the big screen.
That's a great idea.
Right? Then we can all sit in the living room and watch it. So I'm gonna report back to you and see how that worked out. But I think they're gonna reconnect to those memories too. That's my hope, at least.
Yeah.
And then what could we do? It might only be a trip that we can plan, or maybe we can start to get some, regular things on the calendar. I know they're busy, but I modeled how to be super busy. So they're going to do what I do, right? Right? So now you see my cycle I'm stuck in. they're going to do what I did. And I'm realizing that wasn't a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm trying to help say, you know, don't do what I did. Do what I'm saying now.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work really that good, does it?
No. So then we have to, and I think you and I are in such similar boats. I mean, we talk about how hard it is to connect with our schedules.
Yeah.
I equally am showing my kids that be busy, and you don't stop working and all these things, and needing to be more intentional of leading by example.
Yeah.
And not only with my time and intention, but also leading by example of saying no. That's a great idea. I don't have time to add that to my life right now.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Can I help direct you in a place that somebody might? Not needing to take on everything. You know, there's a lot of things that I would love to do because it sounds super cool, but when I think about it, do I really have time, and what am I giving up? And when I think about, you know, your kids are a little bit older than mine, but mine are right behind yours.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm willing to give up any more time.
I look back on it now, and it seemed really important at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was. I think it would have still been there. If I had to ask myself right now, what opportunities to connect would I rather have let go? The ones with my kids and my family, or the ones with whoever I was with at the time? I don't even remember. I don't even know why I was so busy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really even matter. But my kids, they're the ones that I wish I had it back with. Yeah. So the unknown people that I connected with, or the forgotten people, I think I would have rather missed out on some more of their connection rather than the people that I really love the most.
And I think when we're helpers and people come to us, known or unknown, looking for that connection, we don't hesitate to jump in with both feet. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we have to pause and go, okay, is it connection specifically with me that is important, or can I connect them with, you know, a mentor? Can I connect them with somebody more local? Can I connect them with somebody that has more time? And just being that connector instead, because I think you and I probably can look back and go, man, well, not that those people didn't mean something in the moment, but in comparison.
But I think a lot of it is true. What you're saying is, I said I would help because it was for me more than it was for them. I felt valuable to say, I can help you. I can help you. And here I go, I can help you. I can help you till you're just exhausted and you've given up. What price have you paid? Well, it didn't really solve. So it seems like that was a big part of a coping mechanism that I had developed, was if I help enough people, then I will be good. Then I will be fulfilled and happy. When really,
that's a chase.
Right? It is a chase. It's a chase. What I'm learning now is I have a saying, give it away. Who can I empower to help? I may still see the need for help, because that's one of my gifts, is to say, oh, they need help. Because I'm a helper. I can tell they need help. I could probably go help them. But who here could help them? Because I can't help everybody. Right? So then it's the connector role that you're saying. You know what? Hey, there's somebody who needs help. So it feels much better to say, maybe be proactive. And that's kind of what my role is now, is, hey, do you want to help people where you live? Here's a good way to help. Here's some tools. And I guess that's part of what we get to do now with the podcast, is we can help a lot of people, but yet I can make the game this afternoon
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't in some other state trying to help somebody, but the podcast was.
Yeah.
So just taking what we're learning as we've been helping so many people and realize, you know what? It would be prideful for me to think that only my help is good enough, right? I can share what I've learned about helping people. And now anybody listening or watching can say, you know what? I think I'm in the same boat. I've been doing this too much, or, I need to make some changes and it help them. But then they maybe say, hey, you need to watch this because this guy, you're this guy, right? Or you're this mom, or you're this professional, and you're trying to balance all these plates. Listen to somebody who's, walked down that road a little bit. I'm getting to be where I'm down the road a little further, right?
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah, I've noticed that also. And I think one of the questions that I ask other people that I've started to ask myself more, right? Because we usually give it to other people and don't necessarily apply it to ourselves is if something were to happen to you today, who could replace you faster, work or home?
Mm.
And 9 times out of 10, work will have your position posted in a few days. Yep. Your position at home cannot be replaced in a few days or a few years or even ever.
Right.
And I think just having that balance, I think, but I think what I see a lot is we escape into work because it's where we feel more successful and more fulfilled. When you're a professional, you're doing a job, you know what your job is and you're trained well to do your job and it goes well and you maybe get acknowledged for that. And that's really motivating.
Right.
But it's not necessarily the same at home because there's all these connections and personalities and needs. And sometimes it's easier and safer and it feels more fulfilling to dive into work than show up at home and something's broken and you don't know how to fix it and you have to ask for help, or there's a kid with big emotions that you don't know how to manage, right. Or a crazy schedule that you feel like you're always missing something.
I think, when I look at work, it's easy for me to be selfish and get away with it. At home, it's not so much. It has a bigger price. And then it does more damage. And I have to come with grips of, boy, I'm really a selfish person. I should probably grow out of that. And that reality chases me back to work sometimes, right? Yeah. Because I'm a great guy if you just ask me.
Oh, for sure.
Right? But depending on what you do for work and how close you get to the people you work with, it's a different dynamic. Home is definitely where our selfishness comes out. And then we see how it hurts. So then we're faced with getting angry or getting better. And how do you get better when you're trying to realize, wait a minute, I'm selfish, but seems like so are the other people in my family. Yeah, that's normal.
Absolutely.
We're all people that
want our needs met.
Right? So that would maybe be some good exercises around that would be something to dig into. And
I think what leads there when I think about it is transparency and being honest. And I think a lot of times I literally just had this conversation with my oldest yesterday because she likes to say to me, well, you should have known this is what I meant, or you should know that this is how I was feeling. And we just had to have a really direct conversation of, baby, I cannot assume how you're feeling and always be right. I'm going to get it wrong. It would be so much nicer if you just said, I'm really disappointed that this happened, or I don't know how I feel, but I'm not good.
Right.
And whatever that is. I mean, and there are times that she does, but that is hard, I think, for us adults to go ahead and say, I would love for my husband to read my mind of what I need.
We're not that good at that.
No, and that's an unfair expectation of him,
yeah.
and it always leads to conflict.
Yeah.
But instead, if I am just honest of like, I had a rough day, or my work has piled over, I just need to feel productive today. He may not like that I'm going to work late,
but he at least understands where you're at. Mm-hmm. And I think that clarity, are we living with each other and the people around us in an understanding way?
Yeah.
Well, we've got to take ownership of that and say, I just need you to know where I'm at today. And I think, I know my wife is much better at that, sharing that with me than I am with her, but I'm learning, and I'm seeing that, okay, I at least know where she's at today. Mm-hmm. So then I can make a choice. Well, there's probably some things today that I could help out with. Well, that's a great exercise in me not being selfish and saying, you know what, I get where you're at. What could I do to help? Well, I'm a helper, so I can put that to good use at times with the right people. That's the good place for it, right?
Yeah.
But if I were to say, well, I'm busy anyway, so, check out, well, the divide just keeps growing, and I can run and chase a chase that doesn't matter, a chase that's empty and just creates a bigger gap. So I think in that defining moment, if you're just honest and communicate where you're really at, that's our best play when it's tough. But at least we know, right?
Yeah. And I think that's one, like the first step is just like, this is where I'm at. And that is helpful. But the next step is this is what I need. Because I think that's where sometimes we still have that divide. If your wife were to say, like I've said to my family many times, like, I am so overwhelmed today, I don't have time for, X, Y, and Z. I didn't say, I need you to help out with X, Y, and Z.
You just left them with, now your overwhelmedness.
Yep. And depending upon where they're at, depending upon their care and concern, their awareness, they might just be like, oh, well, those things will be done sometime later.
Yeah.
Mom will get back to you later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas what I really want is someone to say, okay, let me take care of dinner, Mom. So that, which my son is like the rock star at. Like, he gets in the car when I pick him up from practice, and he's like, Mom, do you have dinner planned? And some days I'm like, dude, I haven't even thought about breakfast this morning yet. And it's 5:30.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, if you have things you need to finish, I'll make dinner.
Oh, that's cool.
He's going to make somebody a wonderful partner someday, because that kid, somehow I did right.
Yeah.
But I think it's that asking for what I need, because, even my husband will be like, oh, well, you're working. I'm going to go hunt. Yeah. I'm going to go putz in the garage, when I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, like, we still need to check kids' homework. Does laundry need to be done? Who needs to take a shower tonight?
Yeah.
Have the dogs been fed? What's going on? But I can't be mad because I didn't voice it.
Right. So you're saying, if we're clear, but then we make the need known, not expect someone to say, oh, I see that you're upset, I'll leave you alone. Or, no, what I really need is some help with this, or I need you to listen. I got to process and just vent. Mm-hmm. So making the clarity of, this is where I'm at, but this is what I need. Mm-hmm. Those would be two huge steps.
Absolutely. Because if we miss the need part, then the expectation that we have in our head
doesn't get met.
And then it perpetuates these feelings and this lack of connection and not being heard, not being validated, right? All of these things. And I know we're talking about a lot of this at home, but this can be anywhere. I mean, think of, there's some of us that work with the same people all the time. And, sometimes I'm just in a mood. I think Sarah's great about it. She's always like, why do you have that face? And like, a lot of times it's because I'm squinting because my glasses don't do enough. So just let me be old for a minute.
Right.
But sometimes it just being comfortable with somebody asking, what's the mood? What's this? Versus, because if we don't ask, what happens? We start creating all these stories.
And we have bits and pieces. So we start to jump to conclusions, fill it in, and we create, this, it seems true to us, but we're way off. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And it's based off of our perception. But like you said, we only have bits and pieces. And it's really as simple as just asking. But the barriers to asking are fear a lot of times, I think. Like I hear, or I've even experienced, like, I don't want to ask and then get attitude or an explosion that I can't manage in the moment.
Right.
Or I don't want to be offensive. So I think it's the way that we come to people, or coming with being genuine and coming from a place of care and concern.
Do you think we can be proactively practicing that, so then when it happens in the moment, we actually have a little practice as a family? Like, hey, we do a thing that's called highs and lows. What were your highs today? What were your lows? And it's a chance just to process. And we used to do it a lot more. But we never took it to that. Well, is there something you need?
Mm-hmm.
You had a really low day today. Is there something you need?
Yeah.
I never took it to that space, but we had so much really great conversation around what was the high, what was the low for you. Mm-hmm. You were heard, you got to express that. And it wasn't about, well, let's fix it now. No, it was, you just shared your highs and lows. But I think it could be really powerful to say, okay, so what do you need for tomorrow? What do you need for this evening? What do you need, because of the day you experienced? Then it would be just a whole another level of support and care, and be that family unit that, hey, we do this together.
Absolutely. I think you're spot on. Anytime we can model that, the time to work on these things and build these habits is not when we're in crisis, because our brains are not functioning where we need it to be in that moment. We're just treading water, trying to stay afloat.
Right.
So having those things built in, whether it be, at dinner, for me with my kids, a lot of times it's when I'm driving them places, that's, turn down the radio. Hopefully they don't have, their AirPods in or whatever. But trying to have some of that conversation, being intentional.
Yeah.
But even thinking work-wise, roll call, weekly meetings, what's gone well on your plate this week in projects or things, what has not, highs and lows, and then what do you need? I really need someone to look over this report and ask me what I might be missing, because I feel like I'm missing something. It doesn't feel complete. Or, I'm trying to create this training schedule and things just don't seem to be coming together. The budget can't match the training schedule. I could use another set of eyes.
Yeah. We get stuck, don't we? We just, you get stuck, and then whether you got to write a proposal, or you got to write something and maybe get writer's block, and you're like stuck, or there's something you're missing about something, but somebody's fresh eyes can be like, well, have you thought about this? Oh, and now you're going again. And that's all you needed. But are we afraid to say, I'm just stuck? Wouldn't it be great if it's like, is anybody stuck today? All right. Who wants to help with that? I'd take a look at it. Okay. That would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, we
Who
do that.
Stuck.
Yeah, we do that every week on Friday mornings. It's what are your client wins this week? What are the ones you're stuck with? And then how are you taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
Is kind of our big three. And what comes to mind when you say, why don't we just say I'm stuck? It means that we're not enough.
Not enough.
We're not good enough.
Yeah.
Right? We're incapable. There's something we couldn't do. And that need for many of us to be enough gets in the way.
So I hear that a lot. And I think there's a lot of it that plays out in my own life. But if we look back, where does it come from? Where do you think that lie starts to build and grow in our lives?
Sure. So, clinically speaking, when we start looking back at, emotional and social development, we have these phases that start in infancy, right, of needs. And a lot of times that's somewhere what we felt we needed in that developmental stage and what was provided to us didn't match.
Gotcha.
Or our sense of self compared to what expectations. And that starts back at infancy is like trust versus mistrust. Do I trust that this caregiver is going to feed me when I'm hungry, change me when I'm soiled, comfort me when I need it? If not, it already starts to tell us we don't deserve it because we're not getting it. But you could have all of those great things, and then, teenage years are hard.
Yeah.
I think every teenager goes through psychosis. That's just like a standard.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that starts to come there because we're forming our identities and what we think that we should be and who we think we should be. I mean, we start asking kids in 5th, 6th grade what job they want to have and start steering them class-wise towards that.
They're still trying to figure out who they even are.
Correct. I mean, or what the options are, or the pressure to make a decision. And then it's, well, I don't know. I don't have a decision. I don't know. So then what's wrong with me? Why don't I know?
I see.
Or, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be asking the questions, or we shouldn't have, the honor roll or these things. Those things are good. But I think the pressure that if you don't make honor roll, you're not good enough. Or another really good one right now is college versus trade school. I know in my generation, it was expected you go to college.
Yeah.
If not, you're going to be broke or a nobody, which is not true. But now, hopefully, having that shift of you can do whatever as long as you can be somewhat self-sufficient and a good member of society, not doing evil things.
Yeah.
Go do that.
There's lots of opportunity. Yeah. And isn't it like we just want to rate everything?
Yeah.
Right? So if we're rating everything and everything's this, you leave a rating as it's 5 stars. If you look at a hotel, what's the rating? Ooh, no, not that one. It can be helpful, I think, in those cases. But if we have a society that's kind of battling with, I'm not enough, what kind of paralyzing effect does that have on our relationships, our potential, our, I think that there's people that really deal with, I'm an imposter. I'm not really, so maybe I've got somewhat kind of some success. I've got a job and I'm getting, paid okay, but if they really knew. So it's in the back of your mind, I don't really deserve this. I don't really measure up, and they're going to find out, well, then you're constantly in this press mode where I've got to perform. I've got to make sure everybody knows I am enough. I am enough. And you're self-promoting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
or self-doubting all the time.
Yeah.
Which is crippling.
So either way, you're not really genuine. You're not really just being genuine and, understanding. I think as you're getting older and you get through more of life, you realize there's nobody that's just awesome at everything. There's a lot of people that have some great skills.
Yeah.
But then they are way down on the totem pole when it comes to this skill. Great team players realize their strengths and weaknesses, and there's a security that comes with that. So we all have those insecurities, though, of, well, I know I'm not enough, so I'm just going to fake it till I make it. Well, or not. So then what happens, right? It starts to cripple, in this fake facade starts to get built. Mm-hmm. And that can come crumbling down.
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to that connection and disconnect. If we are not showing up authentically, we are automatically putting this barrier between us and everybody else because we're not showing up as our true self. So they're not getting to know our true self. They're not getting to know us on that deeper level because we're always altering our responses based off of what we feel is expected.
Kind of like image management. We're managing what people can see. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're always thinking about, rather than this is just who I am. Love it or leave it. I'm secure with it. Wouldn't it be freeing to just be, when you're around those friends you have where maybe you haven't seen them in 6 months, but you get together and it doesn't matter what the conversation is, what the failure is, you laugh about it together and you say, because there's certain friends in your life, you're not going to get rid of them, no matter how dumbest stuff you do. They're like, we're with you till the end, and it's kind of freeing to be around. We have some friends that we vacation with, and it's pretty rare to go on a vacation, but our kids grew up together, and to go on a vacation with another family, it's like, we're bringing our circus, you're bringing your circus, and we've just kind of said, well, we're just a better circus altogether, so let's just go be one circus, and it's fun.
Well, and like you both show up authentically. You don't try to hide your level of crazy, right?
That's it. That's it, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, but it's together. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think our society as a whole has created this expectation that we have to be perfect and there's no room for mistakes. And because there is, whether it be such a competition or other things, and all of those pieces have their place. I'm not saying that we should, the participation trophies for everybody all the time and things like that. Like, you do still have to earn things on merit. But it's just really created this, I guess I don't even know the right word, but this society where we don't feel like mistakes or failures are okay. When, I think of, I would much rather have my team members come to me and say, okay, so this happened.
Yeah.
I've started to think about it, and this is how I'm thinking to fix it, but I'd love your insight.
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Versus, I think a lot of things, raising teenagers, I think is a big one where this shines is they make a mistake, then they figure out how they can hide it.
Yeah.
And then it always comes out in the end and is a bigger mess. And I think we do that as adults too. We just get better at figuring out how to mitigate it or hide it.
Yeah.
But we're just lacking that transparency. I don't want somebody that's perfect. No. I don't want team members that are perfect. I don't want clients that are perfect. And I don't want friends that are perfect.
Yeah.
Because man, that puts a lot more pressure on me because when I have my hot
We
mess
know,
day.
yeah. And we know it's not reality. That's the thing.
No, it's not.
It's not going to be. They may be committed to image management to seem like everything's perfect, but we've been working with people long enough to know the ones that hide it, it comes out sideways, and it can be bad.
Absolutely.
You know? So to be in those spaces where you can be your authentic self, genuine, this is my junk, and know that you have a place to belong regardless of that.
We need to lead by example with that at home and at work. I hear of so many toxic work environments where there is this pressure. Any little mistake I make, I'm getting written up. It's going in my file. How's it going to be used against me? I have a critical incident and I write the report, and although I followed protocol, I'm still told I did something wrong and I might have a disciplinary.
Right.
We need to flip the script on this, and we need to have it is human. No matter how much we train, we're going to have human responses to something that is scary because it's real.
And I think having a commitment to let's train the best we can train. Let's be proactively prepared as we can be. But then have the healthy enough or safe enough environment to say, this is what didn't work. And this is where we got to get better. So that you can grow and continue to grow other than hide and shut down. Because that's then teaches us to discount and deflect. We discount other people, but they were wrong. We deflect it from ourselves because I can't accept anything because then I'll look bad and I won't get ahead. When the very opposite is true, when someone says, you know what, I want to own this. This is where I dropped the ball. And I'm looking back, but I could use some help for some people to speak into this, look at my report, and really help me be better next time. But that'd be pretty refreshing, wouldn't it? It's pretty unusual, though.
Well, I think of you and I think in our being more down the road than at the beginning of the road. When we look at our friend circles, that's who we're intentional about spending time with.
Yeah.
Is I value those friends that I can be so authentic with and will, offer insight and lean in or sit in to my flaws, and we balance each other out versus I don't want to spend time with people that are going to just point out my flaws and tell me I need to do better. That doesn't motivate me. It makes me
up for that. Right? Yeah. Well, good. That's a good conversation.
Absolutely. So leading by example and being authentic.
Yeah.
Not easy.
But worth it.
Absolutely.